And tonight on the Daily Wrap, Donald Trump finally discussing policy today as he announces details of his tax plan. And now the Speaker of the House, John Boehner, has announced that he is retiring at the end of the month. One question remains. Who will replace him? Making another question. Louis Gohmert, where are you? And with the papal visit now over, many pundits are arguing over whether or not Pope Francis was too political. This is the Daily Wrap, live from New York City. And welcome to the Wrap, everybody. I'm Joe Concha, along with my co-host Rick Unger, who raised his hand when it comes to who will replace John Boehner.
I'm the next Speaker of the House. Did you know that the Speaker of the House does not have to be a member of Congress?
That's true. The Constitution says that's not needed.
I'm putting my name in for the gig.
Interesting. So a Democrat replacing Boehner, who many people probably think you're to the right of Boehner.
But I'm such a fair guy. How could they say no?
That's a very good point. Yes, and you do like to speak.
And
you do own a house. Several of them, as a matter of fact. So that makes sense. To the Speaker's right, Forbes.com columnist and an Emmy winner. He is Bill Tucker.
This is a much better seat than I thought it was.
Yeah, you're in the Heather seat.
Exactly.
And
you're moving up in the world,
and I'm next to the Speaker, too.
You're moving up.
You're the, what would that make you then?
The House Whip.
Okay. Just prefer number 2. We just go all Austin Powers. Anyway, and to his right, the House Whips, that is. He's the assistant online editor for Commentary Magazine. Noah Rothman is back and smiling once again.
That's
all
a big
right,
smile
let's get right to the Daily Download.
You love hearing about yourself.
I do.
It is oxygen to you. What does that tell us about Donald Trump?
No, if I'm on a show, I'll turn on the show, but I don't think I'm any different than anybody else. If
I
somebody's...
was in your office, all the magazines on your desk
Well, I have a lot of covers.
Are covers of you.
I think I have
all
more
the pictures
covers
on the wall are pictures of you.
It's cheaper than wallpaper.
What are we supposed to take from that?
You know, look, I'm on a lot of covers. I think maybe more than almost any supermodel. I think more than any supermodel. But in a way, that's a sign of respect.
That was, of course, we even have to tell you, GOP frontrunner Donald Trump on 60 Minutes last night. Can we go back, control room, to the shot of his desk real quick? Because I saw, yes,
there it is.
There it is, Newsmax magazine.
How many copies did he buy?
Less than 100.
Less than 100.
Yeah, that's pretty
stacked
stacked up.
Least he could do is buy 1,000 copies.
Look at that. We're right in the middle, too. That's not like one of those off to the side kind of thing. That's the one you reach for first if we're looking at
right above the Economist. Come on.
Well, of course.
As well we should be.
That's big, big news. And he mentioned this in a press conference last week as well.
Oh,
Newsmax. So that's,
It's working for him. He's here to stay.
And it's working for us, too. So anyway, Mr. Trump may be on the cover of a lot of magazines, but for the first time this campaign season, he is only ahead by 1 point. This, according to the latest NBC News, Wall Street Journal poll, Trump and Dr. Ben Carson are practically tied for first place. Trump 21, Carson 20. Marco Rubio, Carly Fiorina tied for third with 11%. Former Florida Governor Jeb Bush still struggling, only coming in with 7%. John Kasich not listed, right behind at 6%. Shouldn't say 17, that should say 7. And then Kasich is only 1 point off. That's significant because people see kind of a race between Bush and Kasich and themselves. Anyway, critics of Trump say he's all talk, sizzle, no steak, as it were. That there really is no plan for achieving his campaign promises. Scott Pelley got down to business with the presidential hopeful, asking him about his tax plan.
You say you're going to lower taxes on the middle class. What are we talking about?
Well, we're talking about numbers that will be announced over the next 2 days, and they'll be significant for the middle class.
Do you know what the numbers are?
I know them right now.
Well, why don't you tell me? This won't be on the air for a couple more days.
I know, but if I do that, I'm going to have to, I'm probably talking about the beginning of next week, and I would give them to you, but I will have a riot if I do. There'll be a riot. Everybody wants this plan. Everybody wants to see it.
Still lacking confidence. Everybody. So that was not good enough, however, for Mr. Pelley.
This is 60 Minutes.
I know.
It's time to tell the folks at home the details of what you intend to do.
I will say this. There will be a large segment of our country that will have a zero rate. And that's something I haven't told anybody.
The tax cut for the middle class is going to be what?
It'll be significant.
Yes, but what?
I can't tell you.
Why can't you tell me?
Because I just don't want to now.
It's time.
I know.
This is 60 Minutes.
But it's going to be out over the next week, and I think it's going to be very exciting for people.
Who's on first? What's on second? I don't know who's on third. That was just ping pong, back and forth.
That was a conversation between every reporter and their source that goes on every day, multiple times, all the time.
Yeah. So, well, as promised, Donald Trump did lay out the details of his plan this morning at Trump Tower here in New York.
We're going to cut the individual rates from 7 brackets to 4. Simplification. 25%, 20%, 10%, 0. If you're single and earn less than $25,000 per year, or married and jointly and $50,000. So, very important. If you're single and earn less than $25,000, or married and jointly earn less than $50,000, you'll not pay any income tax. Nothing. No business of any size, from a Fortune 500 company to a mom-and-pop shop to a freelancer living from gig to gig, will pay more than 15% of their business income in taxes.
Okay. Let me get this straight. If you're single and you make less than $25,000, no taxes, where were you in 1996?
No, you weren't paying much anyhow.
I know, but still, 0.0 I could have been paying. Is this plan achievable, Ricky?
You know, it remains to be seen if it's achievable, because we have to see the numbers worked out by some independent, sources. However, it is credible. I will say that. It is a credible plan. There are some problems with it that I think will bother some people in his party. For instance, as you're kind of pointing out, there are people in the Republican Party who have an allergic reaction to the idea of an American not paying something in federal income taxes. So we'll see how that plays out. Not as much, actually. Not as much, because they tend to vote for Democrats, those people. Now where he is going to run into some trouble, I think, is as you get deeper into his plan, he does get rid of the death tax, the estate tax.
Yeah.
And while he has said that his plan will cost him personally a lot of money in taxes, we'll see if that's true. He's going to save gazillions, or his kids are, when he passes away, because he will be a major beneficiary of doing away with the estate tax.
Do you think, just can I hold you on that?
Yeah.
That they could play that card on Trump that, well, he's just going ahead with this plan because it benefits his rich buddies?
Absolutely. Well, it benefits
I don't think people buy that with him.
It benefits him.
I get it. I get it. But you know how you could sell it with a Romney? I think with Trump, he comes across as such a populist, as such
maybe we'll
the
see.
billionaire
It
who's
remains
the man.
To be seen, and it remains to be seen how the numbers work out. If in fact it is, he claims that it'll be neutral in 3 years. In the first 2 years, it might cost us a little bit. In the third year, it'll be revenue neutral, and then beyond that, he says we'll start to come out on the plus side.
Okay.
So as I say, first glance, credible, not crazy, but we'll see.
Bill?
I like the death tax going away. I think the estate tax should go away. And I live in New Jersey, and it is not just the rich people that get hit by this. Farmers get hit by this out in New Jersey, and when they die, they have to break up their farms because they get killed. So I'm in favor of that part. It's funny, I'm not allergic to the no tax, but it does give me a little bit of an itch, because I think that some people ought to have some skin in the game. And I don't think below $25,000 it ought to be much skin, mind you, but they got to have some.
Now, no, this is his strength, right? Trump's, that for all the fanfare and all the bluster, that this should be where he really shines. Do you think that he did a good job today?
He did a fair job. We all go after Donald Trump for being rather substanceless, and he actually engaged in a little bit of substantive commentary and policy analysis, and good for him. We're not going to hit him on that. Kevin Williamson over at National Review had a good observation when he noticed that this is very conspicuously similar to Jeb Bush's tax plan insofar as it reduces rates, simplifies the tax code, etc. I wonder whether or not that comparison is going to come up because his supporters are so allergic to Jeb Bush.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting on that level, no question about it. Well, another candidate has a tax plan that he wants you to know about, and that is a candidate for Governor John Kasich, thank you, he said, of Ohio. He sat down with our own J.D. Hayworth to talk about it.
First of all, I want to do what I think is possible within the first 120 days. I think it is possible, J.D., to get those corporate profits that are stuck in Europe back to America. Let them come home. Don't double tax companies. That'd be a big stimulus plan package. Secondly, depreciation and expensing, writing off equipment will help our workers be more productive.
So, to see more of the interview with the Ohio governor, be sure to turn to Newsmax Prime tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. Coming up next, Speaker Boehner made the rounds on the Sunday talk show circuit. We'll tell you what he had to say about his retirement impending after the break.